So Chapter 7, Part 2. The foraging way of life survived into modern times in certain environments, including a few islands and forests, along with deserts and very cold area. Basically places where food production was difficult and hard to do even with simple technology. Today, almost all foragers have at least some dependence on food production or food producers. All contemporary foragers live in nation states and have contact with food producing neighbors and many others. Geographic distribution of foragers. Africa contains two broad belts of contemporary foraging. Examples include the San Bushmen of the Kalahari Desert and the Mbutu Efi and other pygmies of the forests of Central and Africa. Other recent foragers include the Aborigines of Australia, and here's a map of Aboriginal communities in Australia. Also, or the Inuit of Alaska and Canada, and you see in this yellow part here on the map, the traditional homelands of the Inuit. To some extent, the Ch7 of Paraguay, and the location of them is here in the red. Specific foraging techniques reflect variations in environment and resource distribution. In other words, the way a group of people foraged depended on their environment. For example, foraging in a rainforest versus foraging in the Arctic, like the Inuit did. Now, regarding foraging today, the best chances for cultural survival of these disappearing groups depend on national governments that maintain healthy forests, allow foragers access to their traditional natural resources, and foster cultural survival instead of assimilation. For example, you see here something about the Aboriginal Land Rights Act in Australia, and at the bottom, a piece about helping the Hadza survive in their traditional homeland and protect their traditional homeland. Now, some governments have done the opposite of this. The relocation scheme carried out between 1997 and 2002 by the Botswana government is one example. And also here are other examples of the disappearing cultures of foragers. And on to part 3.